he averaged a triple-double. There's only one other person in the history of the league that ever did it. So, I mean, he's doing it every single night. I mean, on every aspect of the floor. I mean, we're watching greatness right now.
I think when people see his numbers, they don't think much of it, but I think it's amazing to see somebody average 25-plus points, 12-plus assists, 8 rebounds, team third in the West. I think it's amazing, especially to do it with the team he had go over there and kind of have his own team and, move to the point conferences. I think he's doing a great job.
So they're the two front runners for the MVP award, Harden and Westbrook. Can't decide who the real MVP is, though, through the unofficial halfway point of the season. Timmy, let's get your answer on that in a minute. Let's start off with some rapid-fire half-point, if you will, awards. Coach of the Year so far is blank.
I think it's Mike D'Antoni for the Houston Rockets. We didn't know what to expect. Nope. The over and under was hovering around 500. They've had an outstanding year. I really feel like they're the biggest threat to Golden State out west. Harden's competing for an MVP. They're fun to watch. They shoot a lot of threes. This year that he's having, it's going to run its course. He's not going to be the coach there forever. No. Someone else is going to hire him because he has proven with Lynn, with Nash, and now with Harden, when he has a point guard, he's as good as it gets from a coaching standpoint.
Sixth man of the year at the almost halfway point is?
This is a tough one. Jamal Crawford, he wins the award every single year.
You can get it.
Norman Powell's had some great minutes for Toronto. I'd probably lean Crawford. I know it's kind of a boring pick, but what he means to the Clippers, especially with the injury of Chris Paul.
Why don't they start him? Is he just now in that role and he's so good at it that this is the Vinnie Johnson of the 80s and early 90s?
Yeah, I think he's just comfortable with it. You know what I mean? That's his identity and he's okay with it.
All right, let's go with the Rookie of the Year.
It's got to be Joel Embiid, right? I mean, there has to be no other choice.
Yeah, now he might not play again for the rest of the year, but you're right. Up to this point, it has to be Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I mean, it's just he's averaging 20 points, unlimited minutes. Scary to think, Dave, they start playing him 36, 38 minutes a game. Is he a guy that could average 28?
We don't know if those numbers, you could extrapolate them, but if you could, you're looking at one of the top 5 players in the league.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I don't think there's another player in the league who has a bigger ceiling, and that's including guys like Giannis and Porzingis.
Defensive Player of the Year so far would be whom?
It's boring, but it's Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, that's the right
He's the best two-way player in the NBA. He can guard a 2, 3, or 4 effectively. Joel Embiid's numbers are off the charts if you start going efficiency, but he's just not on the floor enough, and he's been often injured, so I'm going to take the easy way out.
All right, the big one, your MVP so far would be?
I'm going to pick Harden, and it's just because they're a real threat. Hey, what Westbrook is doing, you're going to average triple-double. It's crazy to think and not win the MVP. But this has happened before. Only one other player in the history of the NBA averaged triple-double. Oscar Robertson.
Didn't win it.
Didn't even finish second.
Who finished second?
Wilt Chamberlain. You know what his numbers that year were? He averaged 50 points and 25 rebounds, and he didn't win the MVP.
Wow.
Bill Russell won it.
So Wilt didn't get it averaging 50. The Big O averaged a triple-double, didn't win it, and Bill Russell got it.
Yeah, he averaged 24 rebounds in a season.
That's pretty good, too. But still, that's amazing to think in that singular season.
Well, what would be crazy to think, right, in basketball history, only 2 guys could average triple-double in the history of the NBA, and neither guy would win the MVP. Ted Williams, though, batted 400.
Yes.
He didn't win the MVP that year.
What?
Joe DiMaggio won it because that was the same year of the hit streak.
Well, there you go. So do you think there were actually writers and voters back then that went, oh, yeah, Wilt scored 50, but that's just boring.
100%.
Like we're immune
100%.
to Russell Westbrook. They were immune to Wilt that year?
100%. Wilt was just bigger than everyone else, stronger than everyone else.
They're going to fault him for that.
The edge with Harden here is he's leading the NBA in assists.
Wow.
That's frankly so impressive to me because he dominated the game with the dribble, and now he's dominating the game with the pass.
Nobody, I don't think we're speaking out of school here, nobody thought he could do that. Lead the NBA in assists? Come on. James Harden before this year?
Right.
That's like one of the most unthinkable things ever.